So with the hook, it was based on like this therapy session I had right before I went to go see my grandmother in October, like the day that inspired the song. Like I had a therapy session. I started going back to therapy in like August of that year, but I was slow to open up. I hadn't been to therapy in a while. It just takes me a while to like open up and let people in onto my deepest, darkest secrets, even if, a therapist, somebody that I'm paying to discuss this stuff with. But I had this really particular bad week leading up to that therapy session. But I still wasn't really opening up. And I finally decided to open up about how I was feeling and what was going on in my mind. But it was at the last like 10, maybe 5 minutes of that therapy session. And it's not my therapist's fault. Like she got other clients. She got a client right after me that she got to discuss, with their problems with. So she couldn't stay with me, for an extra amount of time while I got all this stuff off my chest. But I was feeling in that moment, feeling dejected. And, I was ready to just throw it all away. Like, this therapy shit ain't working. I'm gonna just go back to drinking. Like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna grind about mine. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna die about mine. Wipe them tears. Never cry about mine. My grandmama asked why I drink all the time. Like, that line, my grandmother did ask me about, when I visited her that weekend. Like, how is things going on with the drinking? It kind of caught me off guard at first because I was like, well, how you know about, that? But because it's not something that I really like opened up and talked about with my family like that. But, she listened to my music sometimes just to see, what's going on my mind, because I might put it in there before I talk to somebody and open up about it. And then, that line was really like that glimmer, like when you're in that destructive mind state, like trying to go back to your old ways, your destructive ways of like coping with stuff. It was like that moment of like, yo, maybe I shouldn't. But then immediately after that line going, nah, fuck that shit. Because you're too far gone. You're too just ready to just say F it and just go back to the BS. Like, I hadn't really been drinking like that, especially since my son's been born. But it was just that, sometimes I get that feeling like I want to go back to, just my destructive ways of doing stuff. And it's so easy to kind of fall back on that stuff. Like, that's the easy way to do it. That's the easy way to deal with stuff. It's worse for you because of it. Like, it's harder to find a therapist and go to therapy, take care of your body the right way. So, yeah, like that was just me in that moment. I was ready to jump back into the BS. Thankfully, I did.